Rob Warne from 90 Day. The Last Resort is showing a different side of himself these days, and fans are taking notice. Once known for his controversial behavior on screen, Rob has started opening up on social media, revealing emotions that some believe are part of a rebranding effort to soften his image as the show's villain. Viewers will remember that Rob was in his early 30s when he brought Sophie to the US, proposing to her right at the airport in hopes of starting a joyful new chapter together. But things quickly took a turn. Sophie was disheartened by Rob's living conditions. His apartment was cramped and lacked a proper bathroom. It wasn't long before deeper issues surfaced. Sophie began to feel disrespected by Rob, and despite their efforts to make the relationship work, tensions continued to rise. The couple tied the knot in 2023, but even marriage couldn't keep the peace. Communication breakdowns, trust issues, and constant arguments pushed them to seek help during 90 Day, The Last Resort Season 2. Instead of healing, therapy sessions seemed to expose the cracks in their foundation. Their interactions grew colder, and viewers watched as respect between the two unraveled. Rob's behavior, particularly towards Sophie and fellow cast member Jasmine Pineda, drew sharp criticism, solidifying his image as one of the show's more problematic personalities. Eventually, Sophie called it quits on their roller coaster romance, ending their relationship for good. Now, Rob appears to be turning the spotlight to a more personal, heartfelt topic: his beloved dog Rome. In recent months, Rob has been sharing more intimate posts featuring Rome, a mixed-breed pit bull he lovingly refers to as his son. His social media is filled with affectionate captions and hashtags celebrating his bond with Rome, perhaps in an attempt to showcase a softer, more nurturing side. He's even opened up about Rome's ongoing health struggles. In early 2025, Rob revealed that Rome was diagnosed with skin cancer, sharing his heartbreak with fans who have followed their journey since before 2019. Rob's emotional connection to Rome became even more evident when he commented on a post by fellow 90 Day stars Julia Trubkina and Brandon Gibbs, who recently lost their dog, Simba. "I'm dreading the day I have to say goodbye to my boy," Rob wrote, followed by, "Sorry for your loss, guys." The touching comment earned over 170 likes, but not everyone was convinced it came from a genuine place. Some critics questioned whether Rob was using his dog's illness to gain sympathy and repair his public image. Still, there's no denying Rob's consistent devotion to Rome, and for some followers, that sincerity shines through. While some fans remain skeptical due to Rob's past actions like his inappropriate comments to a pregnant Jasmine or his frequent clashes with Sophie, others see his recent social media activity as a step toward accountability and growth. As he prepares to appear in a new 90 Day spin-off, it's clear Rob is working to reshape the narrative around him. Whether his motives are genuine or strategic, one thing is certain: Rob Warne is putting his heart and his dog front and center. The path forward never seems easy on 90 Day Fiancé. The other way, the couples featured on the reality TV show must decide which country they're going to live in and deal with the challenging legal repercussions based on that decision. One of the most complicated couples featured on the TLC show is that of Sarper and Shekinah. While the two agreed that Sarper would come to the U.S. for the time being instead of residing in his native Turkey, his time in the States has proved especially challenging. In the latest episode, the two had a fight that appeared to threaten their entire relationship at large. In the most recent episode of the series, Sarper and Shekinah got into an argument that ended up spiraling into a much larger fight. Though Sarper has only been in the U.S. for a little over a month, living with Shekinah at her residence in Los Angeles, the transition has proved exceptionally challenging for him. Already the two have been through lots together while in the U.S. For one, Sarper reached a huge milestone when he was allowed to meet Shekinah's teen daughter for the first time. Though he was sweating bullets leading up to the introduction, and though he wound up getting seasick during the boat ride where the meeting took place, ultimately the two were able to hit it off, and it seemed that Shekinah's daughter approved of him. Sarper also met with Shekinah's sisters, only one of whom had met before and with whom he did not get along. This time around, however, he seemed to demonstrate how his behavior had changed, and how had tried to reel in his quick temper from how it used to be. Beyond that, however, Sarper and Shekinah have had tension over the fact that he can't work well in the U.S. Shekinah recently complained in the latest episode about how she felt like Sarper was ungrateful for all that she did for him, which is how their argument began in the first place. After a long day of working, Shikina got upset when Sarper didn't seem appreciative that she'd gone through a lot of effort to also cook dinner for him. The fight between the two ended up escalating, with Sarper calling Shikina crazy and Shikina calling him useless. Her words really hit home for Sarper, who went on to reflect how his inability to work due to his visa status in the U.S. was taking a mental toll on him. He elaborated on how this sense of helplessness was contributing to his depression. "I feel myself useless. Everything piled up, that depression, and I said it's enough. That's all. I just go downstairs, don't talk with her, let the time solve something, and this is where we are right now. We are not talking. Two strangers in the same house." For her part, Shikina noted that it hurt her to hear Sarper say that he wanted to go back to Turkey when she was going through such great pains to accommodate him in LA. She explained that she'd taken him to some parties there that had loved, and that she'd even sacrificed precious closet space to make room for his belongings. What's more, she explained that his threats of going back to Istanbul felt empty, as his status meant that he had to stay in the United States for longer. Shikina elaborated to the cameras how fights about Sarper wanting to leave LA were different from fights about Shikina wanting to leave Turkey. "I just feel like he doesn't even appreciate it. And it was different at his place when we were fighting because I could leave. And here I can't leave my place. Like, this is my place. I'm not just going to leave. Only time will tell if the two are able to work through their latest blow-up, or whether it will prove a threat to their upcoming marriage plans." Jasmine Pineda from 90 Day. The Last Resort is finally revealing what Matt Brownies does for a living after confirming whether she is in a relationship with him. Jasmine met Matt at her local gym in Michigan just a few months after she married Gino Palazzolo. Jasmine poured her heart out to Matt about how Gino wasn't sleeping with her, and Matt offered to help. Jasmine and Gino agreed to an open marriage where she would sleep with Matt but not get any feelings involved. Jasmine kept her promise, but also became pregnant with Matt's baby and dumped Gino. Jasmine has been showing off her baby daddy to the world, but little is known about the man's history. However, Jasmine has finally chosen to reveal his job to her fans. Jasmine recently shared an Instagram post with pictures of her dressed in a pretty floral dress and holding a colorful bunch of flowers. Jasmine captioned the post, "I can buy myself flowers, but I love when he buys them for me. It's all in the details." In the comments, Matt called Jasmine Gorgas while she wrote, "Mulțumesc frumos," which translates to "thank you very much" in Romanian. A fan, Heath Ashley, asked Jasmine, "So cute. What does Matt do for a living?" "Personal trainer." Jasmine told them that Matt was a business owner. Jasmine has created an air of mystery around Matt. While she refuses to confirm if they're in a relationship, she shares videos of herself kissing him. She refers to Matt as both her friend and baby daddy, yet also accepts flowers from him, adding to the confusion. Jasmine has seemingly filmed a new show, and this may be her way of avoiding spoilers about her storyline with Matt. She may have planned to reveal more about Matt's past and his job on the show, keeping fans guessing until the episodes air. However, 90 Day Fiancé bloggers have reported that Matt previously worked as a mechanic. He also worked as a valet alongside his twin brother in Michigan. Matt is a struggling actor with a few clips of his work circulating online. His Instagram frequently shows him posing with luxury cars. Since Jasmine mentioned that Matt is a business owner, he might own a garage or a company related to race cars. For now, the exact details of Matt's job remain unclear and can only be speculated, unless Jasmine chooses to reveal more to fans. Jasmine relied on Gino for financial support throughout their relationship. It's unclear if Gino still supports her, as they remain legally married, but Jasmine has admitted to facing money problems. She claims she and Matt co-parent their daughter Matilda, so Matt may have taken on financial responsibility for the baby. Jasmine may also be using Matt's money for daily expenses, as he appears to be spoiling her. He seems eager to win over the 90 Day, the Last Resort star, possibly in hopes of convincing her to officially date him and become his girlfriend. 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 features the franchise's first ever thruple. Matt Jalassi and his wife Amani Jalassi met Eni Aguirre while vacationing in Mexico and were instantly smitten. Despite the unusual circumstances, Eni fell for the couple, which then turned into a thruple. As expected, the thruple has dealt with a lot of drama and jealousy so far this season. After doubting Eni's commitment to her and Matt, Amani confronted Annie about her feelings. Annie dropped a bombshell by telling Amani that she loved her more than Matt. While Annie claimed to love Amani more, the signs all point to her actually caring more for Matt. Despite Annie claiming to be in the relationship for Amani, she seems to enjoy spending time with Matt over her. When the thruple reunited at the Day of the Dead festival, Annie was more eager to hug and kiss Matt. At certain points in the reunion, Amani looked like a third wheel as her husband, and Annie shared a passionate embrace. As the season continued, it became evident that Annie was more drawn to Matt than Amani. During one of their first nights together, Matt and Annie were intimate without Amani's knowledge. This angered Amani, who then insisted that the trio needed to set rules and boundaries to respect one another. Annie didn't seem pleased by this, leading viewers to think she liked Amani's husband more than Amani. In scenes with all three of the thruple members, Annie seems to naturally gravitate more so towards Matt. It's clear that Matt also shares similar feelings towards Annie. If you didn't know Matt and Amani were the married couple, it could easily seem like he was instead married to Annie based on their chemistry. Another huge indication that Annie loves Matt more than Amani is the way she introduced him to her family. When Amani asked Annie what her family knew about her and Matt, she was surprised to hear that they knew Matt as Annie's boyfriend. On the other hand, Annie told them Amani is just a friend. While it's understandable that Annie might not feel comfortable opening up about being in a thruple, her choices are telling. If Annie truly loved Amani more than Matt, she likely would have introduced Amani as her girlfriend instead. While Mexico is a conservative country, it seems like Annie's family is open and accepting. The fact that Annie introduced Matt as her boyfriend instead suggests that she takes her relationship with him more seriously. During a recent episode, Annie and Matt discussed the possibility of them getting married in the future. In order to bring Annie to America, Matt and Amani have planned to divorce. This will allow one of them to bring Annie to the country on a K-1 visa, meaning that she will marry whoever sponsors her. Originally, it seemed like Amani would be the one to do this based on her strong feelings for Annie. However, this doesn't seem to be the case. A romantic date for Annie and Matt. While the date was intended to build chemistry between the two, it was clear that the chemistry was already there. During the date, Matt told Annie that she could potentially be his wife someday. Annie was elated by the idea, suggesting her strong feelings for Matt. If Annie is more inclined to marry Matt than Amani, it's possible that she loves him more. While Annie hasn't admitted that she loves Matt more, it certainly seems like she does. It's possible that Annie told Amani she loves her more just to make her feel better about her position in the relationship. While all three members of the thruple share a connection, Annie and Matt do share a very passionate bond. It will be interesting to see how their relationship progresses as the season continues. In 2020, 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days, viewers were introduced to one of the wildest storylines seen in the 90 Day Fiancé franchise. In Season 4, Dan Murphy, who was about 62 at the time, appeared on screen searching for the love of his life. During this time, 90 Day Fiancé took over reality TV and social media with its memes and unforgettable clips. First there was Big Ed Brown, a father who hadn't dated in well over 2 decades. Yet, he thought the best way to a woman's heart was through mayo-sheened hairstyles and gifted toothpaste and razors for some extra maintenance. There was also Ashley Martson, who married Jay Smith despite knowing he had cheated on her abroad, which then led to him cheating on her in the bathroom of the tattoo shop. Then there was Dan. Despite being in his 60s, Dan hadn't given up on searching for love, and he appeared on the show, giving it his best shot. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him, and he sadly won't have the opportunity to accomplish his goal because he passed away last year on December 11th, 2024. However, his legacy continues to live on. When the 90 Day Fiancé star first appeared on screen, he certainly wasn't having the best of luck at finding love. At the time, he had met Lana on an online dating website. He had to pay to talk to her on the site, and she was reluctant to give him her number. Yet they made plans to meet up several times, and she ghosted him almost every single time. When they appeared in Season 4, Lana still didn't appear the first time Dan flew to Ukraine. Dan had a lot of faith, though, and it was on his second trip that season that the pair finally met and Dan seemed ecstatic. Lana didn't seem to return the sentiment, though. He did all that he could to make their relationship easier, like buying her a new phone so they could talk without the special app. He also proposed to her, but their relationship didn't last long. By the time they appeared on the tell-all, they were separated, and there were speculated rumors that Dan might have been dating another 90 Day Fiancé star. Unfortunately, though, Don's 90 Day Fiancé stint has come to an official close. In an Instagram post in December, his family shared, "We are deeply saddened to announce that Dan, of Las Vegas, Nevada, passed away at home on December 11, 2024, after experiencing health issues over the last several years." Apparently, the star had some heart issues, and his death was declared natural by the coroner. The problem with Don's death is the estate he left behind. In general, many people, stars included, leave a will to divide their assets. To the best of his sister's knowledge, Daniel didn't have a last will and testament. He also did not have a spouse, so ultimately, his estate has been up for grabs since his passing. According to his sister, Robin Polinsky, he was a single, unmarried man with no children, either living or deceased. He was predeceased by both of his parents. As a result, she was petitioning to become the administrator of his estate, since she and their other sister, Cheryl Hastings, were the next of kin. The death of a person can certainly leave behind unanswered questions and loose ends. However, considering Dan only had immediate family at his passing, hopefully the situation with his estate can be squared away quickly. Overall, though, it was probably best that Lana and Dan didn't work out in the long run, because while she might have been left with a sizable estate, she likely wouldn't have appreciated it. Hopefully, now that won't be a concern, and Don's sister will be able to care for his estate as best as they can.